Division 2 is the dissemination division. Dissemination of what? That's an interesting word all by itself, isn't it? That's the exact division which creates and gives form to that outflow we mentioned. It creates the quantity, first of all, and also the quality of the outflow. What for? In order to make sure that the later inflow comes in as income. Alright, let's see. A company could make 1 million, for example, from the work it does, but only have 1 million in profit. Or it would make 10 million, but have 5 as profit. The question is, what's the better choice? Certainly, the option with making 10 and keeping 5 seems the preferred one. And it's this making income for the company that Division 2 has to deal with. But a company is not only interested in having income, but income which ensures income greater than disbursements. And it's also important that some sort of reserve stays in the company. Let's look at the functions that Division 2 uses to fulfill its purpose. There are 3 departments, just as in any other division, and they are 4, 5, and 6. Department 4, all of its purpose could be summarized in one word. But unfortunately, this word, I will dare say, is misunderstood in society in most cases. And that word is marketing. Why do I claim that it's misunderstood in most cases? For that very reason, that if we go out on the street right now and ask 10 people what the word marketing means, what are we going to get? We're going to get 10 different definitions of this word. Sure, they might be similar in some way, but I assure you that the key concept of this word will be missing in most cases. Let's define this word right now and then look at it in more detail. Marketing, the conceiving and packaging and the moving of a specific product into public hands. It means to prepare and take to and place on the market in such a way as to obtain maximum potential and recompense. L. Ron Hubbard. Do you see what the main confusion about marketing is in this society? It's this. Usually, the marketing expert believes that his valuable final product is, you know what? The marketing budget used up. But look, the very essence of that contradicts the definition. Of course, you have to spend the money designated for promotion, but as a business owner or executive, I want to know if this will generate a response and if the product will be bought. That means a marketing expert is not responsible to see how he can spend the money allocated for promotion. In fact, his responsibility is the company's income. And in this case, Coca-Cola can be a really vivid example. Here's an interesting instance I recall. One time, a brilliant marketing expert was at the head of their marketing, Sergio Zyman. And at one time, they put out an advertising clip, but before putting it to use, they sent it to a very popular advertising festival. And it took first place at the festival. It would seem that the marketing experts did their job perfectly. But look what happened next. 2 weeks after the advertisement went into view, Simon took it off. But why? Because it didn't make the expected sales return. So based on that, let's look at the goal of marketing. The purpose of marketing is create want and to sell something. L. Ron Hubbard. And that's the purpose of marketing. I want to emphasize once again that the important thing is whether it all leads to sales. And here, the key mistake of most executives and business owners is this. It's how they evaluate the marketing experts or marketing services' effectiveness. Instead, they evaluate the marketing expert or marketing services by how much they like him or what he has created. He will bring them new advertising copy and say, "Here you go, how do you like it?" And the manager says, "Wow, how amazing, I like it, get it started." And they get started, you know? But it's like shooting sparrows with a cannon. Bam, it's fired. Maybe one sparrow goes down, but the main flock of your target audience flies right by. Don't you see? And it could be the exact reverse of that. The marketing expert brings the advertising material and says, "It's going to look like this and this." And the owner looks at this and says, "My God, what a poor, tasteless marketing strategy you have." But if we get increased sales as a result of this marketing program strategy, then your marketing expert is a genius. Going off of all of this, one could name some very evident and understandable functions of Department 4, which is surveying the target audience, making a promotional program based on that survey, and controlling the execution of these programs. It's all quite simple. Department 5. Let's name out right off the bat the functions of this department. It's design of promotional materials. It's creating the materials in sufficient quantity and their dissemination, sending them out and delivering them to the place where the company will use those materials in the course of its work. You see, this is the area where one can create and be inventive, but within the framework that the Department 4 has set for it. Remember how we created a company? Well, if we now take that company furniture, what would Department 5 now be doing? Well, it would print the company's magazine, for example. It would create a furniture catalogue, let's say, produced by the company. Or, I don't know, some brochures or what have you. It would then need to be organised to be printed in the right quantity and then sent out to destinations where it's needed. Alright, how do we jump over to Department 6 here? Maybe you notice that Division 2 also has its own flow. Look, we conducted surveys of the target audience, then we created promotional programs, we control their execution, create the design of promotional materials, and we make them in enough quantity and then send them out to distribution outlets. What do we expect now? We expect a response from our target audience. And now, in Department 6, is where we have to sell all this. But I want to stress that Department 6 deals with existing clients as far as sales as such go. So we get clear and easy to understand functions. Working with long-term clients, and then the next step of the flow is the client database. In this technology, the client database is called a central file, and we're going to use this word more than once. So, that was Division 2, and its color is purple.